Yes, I'm proud.
Yes, keep the camera on.
I wanted to ask you, do you think what Israel does?
It's a fact that what Israel does is wrong. I don't need to think it. It's a fact.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question.
With respect, wait. And what Hamas did, was that wrong?
Can I ask you a question? Okay, I'm going to speak now. Now, do you believe that killing innocent civilians is wrong?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then you believe what Israel doing is wrong. Now, you asked about Hamas. If Hamas were killed innocent civilians that had nothing to do with fighting, especially women and children, that is wrong from an Islamic point of view. Absolutely, 100%. I'm consistent. Like, we follow our religion, our teachings. We would not defend someone doing something wrong and pretend that they're not doing something wrong. But what you're missing is this. This is what you're missing. The fact that Hamas did not exist in 1948 when 700,000.
I know, Benjamin. I know for a fact. Sorry for interrupting you, but Israel wanted to make West Bank and Gaza to not be together, so they paid Hamas. I've heard something like that.
Yeah, okay. Whether they paid Hamas or not, I'm not going to make claims I cannot prove. My point is very simple. Look, before Hamas existed in 1948, they killed thousands of people. They displaced hundreds of thousands of people. They did all of these different things with Hamas or without Hamas. So anyone who thinks this got to do with Hamas definitely knows nothing about, is illiterate about history. And the fact is, even the UN, which is a group of liars anyways, even those UN, which the West pretends to follow their moral framework, they themselves admit that what Israel is doing is wrong. They admit, they will tell you the stats that in Palestine, the number of Jewish people, how it jumped from 10%, in 1917, and in 1948 became over 33 or 35%. People coming with ships coming from Europe to take over a land that is not theirs and make illegal settlements that the UN itself will tell you that they made illegal settlements. The UN itself will tell you that they're killing journalists. The UN itself will tell you that they're killing innocent civilians. The UN itself will tell you they're bombing civilians indiscriminately. The UN itself will tell you that there's no Hamas in the West Bank, but they're still killing people.
But tell me, why isn't your Muslim brothers and sisters speaking out? South Africa did, but I haven't seen non-Muslim country doing the same.
Yeah, when you say your brothers and sisters, you're talking about there's civilians and there's governments, right? I don't run a government.
Dauma.
Yeah, one second. I don't run a government, and nor does majority of Muslims run governments. And a lot of Muslims live and they live under certain leadership that they don't necessarily agree with. And for you to think, let me just put it very simply, for you to think that countries in the Middle East do not have already an influence from Zionist leaders, then you would be living in delusion. There's many countries that you would look at that you think that they have their own sovereignty.
My friend, I live with post-traumatic stress syndrome. I take medication, I take Xanax, and I take olazapine and sertraline.
Okay.
So trust me, I've seen many bad things. I'm not here to be an enemy to you. I actually really like your channel.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a Zionist.
Can you define what Zionism is?
For me, it's Israel to be free.
But
Two-state
free
solution.
from what?
Two states to 50% for Palestine, 50% for Jews.
Okay, well, that's not the definition of Zionism.
Okay.
No Zionist wants two-state solution. You cannot. If you call yourself a Zionist and you say you want two-state solution, there.
Okay.
Because no Zionist wants the whole land of Palestine for themselves. That's the definition of Zionism. State in the whole land of Palestine. They want to displace, remove every single Palestinian, to the end. Not a single one left in that land. But not only that land, that they're moving, because the land of Canaan is not just the land of Palestine, but they're starting with Palestine. They're moving into Yemen and Syria and all of that step by step, and Jordan, based on what the land of Canaan is for them. So you're not a Zionist if you think of two-state solution, number one. Number two, you cannot claim that you want Israelis to be free when literally Israelis have an army, tanks, and tens of thousands of navy, seals, and ships, and air tanks, and airplanes. And Palestinians have nothing. Gonna be free from what?
If you ask me, it's not Jews that control Israel. It's European and USA.
No, you're completely mistaken. I don't think you know what you're talking about. Because if you were to check the IPAC, for example, which is a political party which runs America, literally, which has the biggest lobby in America, it's all Zionists, funded and controlled by Zionists.
Yeah.
It's not even. This is on their website. You can just Google it. It's not something I'm saying like a conspiracy or something. This is literally if someone Googles it and checks.
No, I believe you. Yeah.
The Americans are the one who are being controlled. To be honest, it's not that the America is the one controlling it. But the thing is, you cannot call yourself a Zionist, as I said, and you say that you want them to be free when no one is imprisoning them. They are the one who is they are the ones imprisoning 2 million people in Gaza in an air prison where they cannot have food, air, internet, or anything, and they're being killed.
But why doesn't Saudi Arabia help people in Gaza?
Great question.
By sending money or food or water, or what's stopping them?
Great question, and I'm not going to only say Saudi
because
Arabia.
I've been in Saudi Arabia. I got Israeli passport.
Okay.
I had no problems to enter Saudi Arabia, but Muslims, they can do the same.
Just like all of the Jewish people that came to Palestine had no problem entering Palestine, because Palestinians at that time opened their arms for them, opened their houses for them, and then they ended up kicking those Palestinians from their own homes. So the thing is this: look, when you say why is this country not helping, my point is to single out a specific country is inconsistent. I believe every Muslim country has a responsibility there, because if one country does not act, then the responsibility. Wait. Then the responsibility moves to the other Muslim country. If that other country doesn't act, then it moves to the other country. So I completely agree with you. Why are they not acting? I completely agree. I share the same sentiment more than you do, even. Yes.
Why do you think they don't acting? Or they are
I answered you before. I answered you before. I said to think that governments that are in Muslim lands have no influence. They're not being influenced by Zionists is naive. That's what the point that I was making. I believe that it is almost very difficult, if not impossible, for someone to become a president in a country without already being approved by certain individuals. Let me put it to you. No one can be just a Muslim leader in a Muslim country without already being approved, quote unquote, by certain individuals. Let me just put it very generally for you. So why? Because Zionists know very well, like if there are good leaders or correct leaders, or if Muslims unite around them, they're not going to have safety. They're not going to have safety. How are they going to have safety if the countries around them cannot attack them?
I've been in Gaza with military and my brothers in arms, and we took out families in the middle of the night, and we took pictures of the kids and the parents, and so I don't lie. I started to question myself about Zionism. It's a national thing. It got nothing to do with Judaism. And
do you have a Jewish family? Do you have people there? Is that what you're saying? Half.
Half. Yeah.
Okay. So look, this is the thing. Like I think a lot of Jewish people would call themselves Zionists just because other people call themselves Zionists. They don't do like their own research and check actually what's going on, see the massacres that are taking place. You said yourself you went to Gaza and you saw. That's why it changed you, made you question actually what you've been told by the Israeli media.
Trust me, I cried many times because I saw the children. They were scared, and we coming in with heavy weapons into their home.
Were you in the army? Were you in the Israeli army?
Yes, I was in the Israeli army.
Okay.
Yeah, and we took pictures and we searched for weapons, and sometimes we took in dogs to the house, and the children get scared, So I didn't feel good for that, and I hope God will forgive me. But it was my job. I served 5 years. I did 1 year training, then I served for the IDF.
Well, this is the thing.
And the thing I don't understand, Orthodox Jews and you guys, you are really close, and still there is war. So I don't blame the Orthodox Jews. I blame the other people, Europeans, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Before, for like 5-6 years ago, I hated Arabs. I hated not only Arabs, immigrants. I was like a fascist.
But don't you agree that this is what what is being taught anyways in Israel? Like people are Arabs are to be hated by. This is what you're taught.
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. When our children are born, we tell them what Arabs gonna be. They're gonna be our slaves. And
yeah. So look, at least you're honest. You're saying these things, right? You're saying the truth.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I believe in one God, and I started to read about Islam and Judaism.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Look, I'll tell you two things actually. First, where did you serve? Like which part in Gaza? Did you go to Gaza that time? Or was it in this conflict or before?
No, before, like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Okay. You see, this is because a lot of people think this all started October the 7th. They don't know all of these things have been happening for years and years and years. And
it's been 75 years. Yeah.
So look, I'll tell you this. Look, a lot of people they might have hatred towards you, and they're talking like they don't like because what you said you did or go or what they see happening to the children, all of that. But this is the difference between us as humans acting emotionally and Allah. Allah Azza wa Jalla is a forgiving God, is a forgiving and a merciful creator. And the Prophet ﷺ, he told us of a story of a man who killed 99 souls. Then he went to a monk and he asked him, "Is there any forgiveness?" So the monk said no. So he killed the monk. Then he went to the person of knowledge and he said to him, "Is there any forgiveness?" So the person of knowledge told him, "Who can close the door of repentance for you? No one can stop the forgiveness of God from coming to you. No one can stop God from forgiving."
That's actually what's drawing me to Islam, because in the Bible we kill children, women, animals, everything.
Yeah, I know. I've read the Bible. I've read like 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 3, for example. Or what Jeremiah was doing, going around killing the children, take over the land from the Canaanites. I know, I understand. Like, and they told you these things, and they teach you these things, and they tell you this is the right thing to do. This God chosen people. You're doing the right thing, but you deep down, because you have a conscience as a human being, you start feeling, this is not the right thing to do. When you look at a child, you're still a human being. You
it's
still have
not. To be honest, it affected me really hard, man. To watch the children shaking. And we are with the dogs in the house, and the dog is barking. And some of my soldiers, they say in Arabic to the people, "Stay at the wall. We're gonna take pictures," and like make jokes about them, like, "Don't be scared. We're not gonna kill you." So I couldn't take it. I got sick 1 year. I got PTSD.
What I can tell you is this. I can tell you, look, Allah can punish the people in different ways. And you understand this very well. You can see the psychological trauma or pain is far stronger than the physical one.
Yeah.
That's why the Palestinians are free. People think they're not free, but they're free inside in their souls. You can see them, they're free inside because they know there is an afterlife. They know that Allah Azza wa Jalla is for them. Allah Azza wa Jalla is protecting them. But this is something the Israeli soldiers will never have. That's why they will have fear. That's why they're afraid. Even of Hamas, who don't have weapons, they will still be afraid of them because they fear death. While Muslims do not fear death, they fear the Creator alone. But the only way you can save your soul is by coming to Allah Azza wa Jalla and repenting and accepting Islam and trying to do good deeds in the rest of your life. The only way you can get forgiveness, you can seek forgiveness, is from Allah. Not from me, not from any other human being. You can go to any doctor, he'll tell you anything, it's not going to help you. The only person that can change your life, the only person that can accept your repentance is Allah Azza wa Jalla. He's the only one who can forgive you. He's the only one who can change your heart. But the only way you do that is you have to accept Islam. You have to submit to Allah Azza wa Jalla. You have to start following the teachings of Islam. You have to start speaking out because you have an experience. You've been in the army. You can talk about your own experience like you're doing right now. Of what these people are actually doing, like what the Israeli army is actually doing to the people. You speak about this.
We used to do terrible things. We throw in shock grenades into the houses and we laughed, and I can tell you 1,000 stories.
Yeah, I need you to speak because the reason this is important is for people to see, because there's a lot of lies spread in the media.
Because since like 2 years ago, I started to change in my mind, and I felt in my heart what I'm doing is wrong. This is not human, man. It's the devil. You can't do things like that. One time we put a dog barking on a kid, and the kid started to piss himself.
Mm.
And everybody laughed, and the mother was crying. And what can I say? I'm just honest. God listen. He sees everything. He hears everything.
Wallahi,
But I wish God forgives me. I was younger then, and I was nationalist. So
Wallahi, look, the doors of Islam are open.
yeah,
The doors of forgiveness are open of Allah Azza wa Jal, but they're only going to be shut when you die. And we don't know when you're gonna die. If you want Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive you, I told you the only way. The only way that Allah Azza wa Jal is gonna forgive you is that you repent from the deeds that you did by accepting Islam. And now from now on, trying to do your best to let people know what is going on, to explain to them
I would lose every friend if I became Muslim.
Do you know what?
promise you.
Do you know what you would lose if you didn't become Muslim?
Yeah, the
First your
afterlife.
sanity, and the second thing, your afterlife.
Yeah.
You can pretend. Look, you can take medication. You can take no amount of medication you're gonna take is gonna cure what you've seen.
It doesn't cure, brother. It just
not
make
gonna
me go to sleep. That's what it does.
Yeah, nothing is gonna cure it because people, they do these actions. I don't know how some people in the army do these things. They do these actions and they think there's no consequences.
Brother,
SubhanAllah.
many people took drugs. But they don't tell that in media.
Hmm.
So yeah.
They take drugs so they can not feel anything when they're doing these things. Right?
Yeah. We took Valium, Xanax. Sometimes we took cocaine. So yeah.
Allah understand. Allah understand.
So we become like more brothers when we was on drugs.
Look, you're fine. You're a lot better than if someone wants to become Muslim in like Tel Aviv or something like that. If he wants to become Muslim there, he's got a lot of things to worry about. You, on the other hand, you are in a country where you shouldn't have a problem by doing that, by accepting Islam.
Yeah.
Right? If it was the friends, no one can have a better friend or a better protector than Allah Azza wa Jal.
Yeah, but I've just been scared. I don't want to lie. If I go and visit a mosque and take the Shahada, I want to be honest to them and tell them his history. So
you don't have to do the Shahada in a mosque. You can do it right now. There is no need for you to go to a mosque to.
Should we do it right now?
We can do it if you're ready. If you want to do it, I can do
it. Let's do it, bro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
do it, inshallah. We'll do it in English first, and then we'll do it in Arabic, inshallah. Okay. So say after me, I testify.
I testify.
There's nothing worthy of worship.
It's nothing worthy than worship.
Except Allah.
Except Allah.
And I testify.
And I testify.
That Prophet Muhammad.
That Prophet Muhammad.
Is his messenger.
Is his messenger.
And servant.
And servant.
We'll say the same thing now, but in Arabic, inshallah. Yeah.
Okay.
Say Ashhadu.
Ashhadu.
An. La. Ilaha. Illa Allah.
Illa Allah.
Wa ashhadu. Anna. Muhammadan. Rasul. Allah. That's it, brother. It's like you don't need to go to a mosque. You don't need to go to any